Rain didn't even stop us today, darling.
You know something? This isn't bad compared to yesterday.
I know.
We are here in one of my favorite spots in New York City. Yes, the product, yes, the company, but a lot of it has to do with the people. Sway, the president of NPeal, is here. Hello, Sway.
Hi, pleasure to see you once again.
It's so nice to see you. By the way, every time I'm here, the champagne opens. Is that a thing?
We know how you like it.
I appreciate that. I do. I do. By the way, we're doing a video on kind of a New York state of mind, different aspects, different brands, Bond brands specifically, that are doing something, an homage to New York. And you've come out with a collection that is really interesting. Can you tell us about it?
Well, as a native New Yorker, I'm so excited that we finally tapped into our aesthetic. You know, you're New York State more so.
Yes.
But there's still colors and palettes that you'll enjoy as well. But it's just a very, I think the consumer will appreciate the modernity of the collection. There's a lot of
What's that word mean? Modernity.
well, I always consider New York City the future of the world.
Yes.
And so since we're in the future, we're going to just give you a glimpse of what everyone will be wearing maybe 2 years from now.
Oh my gosh. So you're a sartorial forecaster. You're actually forecasting what the world will be wearing
In cashmere, for
in
sure.
a capsule. I love that.
It's hard work, but I think we did an excellent job, as always.
How important for you was it to go borough by borough?
I think for all of us,
Yeah.
we really wanted to explore that in little stories, which I think our design team and our creative team did an excellent job in showing a little bit of the culture, a little bit of the lifestyle, which is very important, you know. Every borough in New York City, it's almost like its own little town.
Sure.
So, yeah, I think we did an excellent job with that. And of course, I mean, like I said, this is going to be probably my favorite collection for now.
It's got to be a passion project. I
It
mean,
is.
I know that this is a home for you, one of a home, but when you talk about personality, there's almost a culture to every borough. How do you put a culture into a piece of clothing? Is it the look? Is it the color? Is it the feel?
I think it's both and a little swagger. You know,
Oh,
you need a little.
Wait a minute. What? Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I think, as you know, New Yorkers, we know how to do high and low very
True.
well. I think we're the best at it in America. We know how to create our own sense of style,
Right.
and we get really creative with it. So I think there's a lot of pieces here that even if you don't want to do head to toe and peel, there's a lot of different items that you could mix and match depending on what your style is.
So, what makes you think? I love this. This is like the Barbara Walters special. What makes you think that a collection like this is going to appeal, N.Peal, to the rest of the world?
Why wouldn't it?
Oh,
I mean, I think
snap.
I think all eyes are always on New York,
Right.
you know?
Yes.
So there is some classic and timeless things that I think all people enjoy. It doesn't matter where you're from.
True.
You're always looking for something that you can always go back to in your closet and always withhold it's the test of time, which our products do that, obviously, with the
love
quality.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to explore some of these pieces. I can't wait to look. I want to explore the hand, the design, the function, and this is, correct me if I'm wrong, 2 years in the making.
Yes, we're always ahead of our, in the future, we're always.
I love that. Crystal ball over here is what we're talking about, but let's explore this. And by the way, this is not just available in locations in New York, is it?
Absolutely not.
Around
It's
the world.
around the world. We're all showing our appreciation for our American customers, all that are very loyal to us in all of our stores worldwide.
I love that. All right, let's take a look. All right, Brooklyn in the house. This is from the Brooklyn collection. This is the Davos goat suede front, 2-ply cashmere. This feels so incredible. By the way, really important to talk about sizing because I know a lot of you are only going to be able to order this online. Please explore thoroughly. There's so many boroughs to explore in real life. It's very similar with the collection. So in this, I have a 42 chest, I have a 31-inch waist, and I'm wearing a size small. And by the way, this doesn't look like it's shrink wrapped on me. It's got a little bit of give, but the arms are perfect. No bat wings over here. So they've got that nice arm cut that N.Peal has done for many years. But I'm just gonna say it out loud here. Don't hate me for this. You're gonna be touching yourself. The goat suede is amazing. I'm getting kind of like an anti-Spectre vibe. So you remember the Solden jacket from Spectre? This has the same type of striations. This is going to keep in the warmth, but it's thin. This is not a very thick jacket, but it feels luxurious. This is going to transcend the whole idea of warmth, feel, and function, but you're also going to feel pretty fine in this. Does it give you a New York state of mind? I'd like to think so. Would this go with almost anything? Absolutely. This is a favorite of mine. Okay, we've got West Village now. This is relaxed. Think Sunday morning, you put on this Garrick shawl. And by the way, not quite fawn, not quite brown, somewhere around, I don't know, a heathered hazel. This is incredibly soft. Yes, I'm going to be touching myself. Just deal with it. Every time I'm in NPeal and I see these capsule collections, there is this Sophie's Choice moment. You have all these children around you, you have to pick one. This is it. I love a good shawl, but this screams a little bit of Daniel Craig, a little bit of Steve McQueen, and a lot of who I am and who I've become as a style person. Now, I've got to talk about the silhouette. The reason I like this, and I've picked out a size small, you've heard my measurements already, is because I like the silhouette here. It shows off a chest, but it whittles down here. It's not boxy, it's not rectangular. It gives a nice silhouette, and then there's those arms. However, I have to tell you, there's room aplenty. And again, this is supposed to be a little bit more of a relaxed style, and I'm feeling it. Can it go with chinos? Can it go with jeans? Can it go with gabardine trousers, a blue top, a t-shirt? It kind of goes with everything, so it's a bit of a chameleon. I'm gonna have to give this one an A+. So allegedly I've had too much Vouv, but that's okay, because this is a relaxed atmosphere. I've got the gilet on, and I have a turtleneck that's very, I don't know, it's very similar to the one that you would see in Spectre. And I want to get the names right, so I actually have some help off screen.
The turtleneck is the Berwick.
The turtleneck is the Berwick.
And the gilet is the Belgravia.
Belgravia. That sounded tipsy. I will even say that myself. But here's the reality. It looks great. It feels great. Back to the West Village. I am wearing a jacquard shawl cardigan. This thing is amazing. Now, many of you could say that you're getting kind of a Lebowski type of look on it, but I've got this elevated cashmere N.Peal crew underneath. We're going to show you what that looks like in a second because it's got some tipping sleeves on it that are really interesting. But look at the pattern and look at the fit. Incredibly soft, a very different feel than the last one. I've paired it, and now we talked about N.Peal and men's trousers. And I have to tell you, I've been living in my linen trousers, but these are a gabardine. It still has that amazing tie to it, but look at the silhouette on this. It's not skinny, it's not slim, and it's not a regular fit. It's somewhere in the middle that it's still is incredibly elegant, but I will tell you, I have flamingo legs. They're not thick. They're more tennis than they are soccer, okay? But these are incredibly flattering. Look at the color. This off-white is, I don't know, it says Hamptons, it says elevated, but it connects so well with these colors. I have to tell you, the emotional connection of wearing something like this that feels so well is really important, because we talk about looks and we talk about this and we talk about that. When you're wearing something that makes you feel good, there is an emotional connection. This outfit does it. Probably more than anything else that I've tried on. If you want to get into the Hamptons mind, but you live in some other place in the world, this will transport you. And some of the best style, the sartorial moments, is about escapism, but being true to your authenticity. That's what this does. I love it. Shaftesbury. This is what the vest is. So now we've got something that's a little bit less chunky, a little bit more streamlined. It's a thin vest. Take the edge off a cold. You could see this in an office. But I'm sort of loving the neutral colors. I mean, you've got a little pop of the darker browns, but look at the neutral aspect. I will tell you this, there are flannels, darling, and there are flannels. This is the latter. This is incredibly soft. This is not your mountain man flannel. This is, it's a different type of hand. Maybe it's a tighter weave. I don't know. I don't know the vernacular, but it is incredibly soft. All I know is it pairs extremely well with it, this chino and this look. I'm kind of loving the look. Okay, so this is all about layering, and we're gonna break this apart because this jacket is not only comfortable, I mean, we have to start with the comfort, and I'm not even gonna break up the lines with the microphone because you've got these side hand warmers, you've got these sort of patch flap pockets here. But what I love about this is that it staves off the cold while still providing the layers and giving that amazing look. Is it a navy? Yeah, it's this navy. It's almost like a midnight blue. So it's this dark navy, always navy, which is actually very Bond. But underneath what I'm wearing is probably the same fabric as the shawl cardigan that we saw before, but it's in a zip. So again, what you want to think about is thoughtfulness in layering. This does not have, please take note from a sartorial standpoint, an undershirt underneath it. There is a misunderstanding, a misnomer that wool is itchy, that wool makes you sweat, that it's overly hot. Do not put anything in between you and N.Peal cashmere. I mean, it's like the DoorDash commercials of the 1970s. It's just nothing gets between you and your N.Peal cashmere because it's incredibly soft, but it sets up a wonderful layer to this jacket. Name of the jacket? Right, it's the veil. I even knew that. It's the veil. Now, think about what veil conjures up. We'll edit that out. Colorado, a little bit of skiing, opera ski. But it's just incredibly. By the way, one thing I do want to mention about this jacket that I think is important is this can fit a lot of different sizes. Not only does it have the zippers and poppers, but it has these insides cord cinches. So it can actually taper you. If you're on the hashtag Bond Fitness Challenge, you're well appointed. So a different part of Colorado. Now we're in Breckenridge. And I am so getting Skyfall vibes here. You've got the slash pockets. You've got an area here to kind of cinch it through. You can adjust it, absolutely. But this is wax cotton with the corduroy collar. Very traditional in nature, and yet it's got something new and modern about it. When you pair it with something like you see underneath, it freshens it up a little bit. Comfortable. It's interesting, and you need to know the process that we're going through right now. I'm literally jumping in and out of the dressing room. This is something that I tried on right away, and I thought, oh, I'm going to have to adjust the buttons, and I'm going to have, oh, it's cinched. No, it's comfortable right off the bat. It's raining out today. It's a bit drizzly. I can see this going through 3 seasons very easily, especially when you pair it with an N.Peal cashmere underneath. This is a jacquard. It's that same type of pattern that we talk. I put a French flair to it. I'm making people behind the camera laugh. But this is something that it's all about the combinations. This isn't about an N.Peal unique siloed individual piece. It's about how they all fit together. Taking this off, arriving at the office or on a date night, you feel confident. You feel that this fits you well. But most importantly, you don't feel like the clothing is wearing you. I've talked about this before. You are wearing the clothing. It's an accoutrement to you. It's an accessory. But in this particular case, it's so well designed that it becomes a part of who you are. Loving it. All right, talk about an elevated experience. We have now been put on top of the Rockefeller Center at the Garden Loft. This is an amazing space, and it's very apropos because we're now elevating the discussion. We're going to be talking about the West Village. Now, your eye is catching something right away with this. We've gone a little bit darker in the tones, a little bit heavier, so it's a little bit different than what we just discussed. But as part of that discussion, I need my expert. Sway, why don't you come back on here? There she is.
Hi.
Welcome back. It's been like a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you wearing also, is this West Village?
I think this is actually the later parts of the city. Yes, because Madison has now received the entire collection, which I ended up grabbing a few pieces myself.
Can you talk about what you're wearing right now?
So I'm wearing our iconic shawl placket cardigan. It's so chic.
It is chic.
It's effortless chic, which is my favorite way of dressing.
Okay.
And then also, since I love to layer, pardon me.
Yeah, no, I'll be your hanger.
So anytime you see me, you'll probably see me something like this. It's just, you can pair this with anything during the winter.
It's classic.
It's the classic
Yes.
Rex Rabbit gilet. And of course, what can be finer than our fine gauge
which is
roll
like a
neck.
staple,
Yes.
right? I mean, in your entire
collection.
collection.
It's an iconic garment for us.
It is, and you look very chic, but I have to tell you, as much as this is New York and it's got those cosmopolitan colors, to me this translates to different international cities. It's pretty universal, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I was already planning my next trip to Aspen, so.
As you should. By the way, I'm going to ask you to reciprocate.
Yes, of course.
Because I'm going to talk about what I'm wearing. And by the way, this was curated by Sway and all the wonderful people at N.Peal, but I'm actually loving the layering that's going on here. I've got this wonderful vest, and this is, talk to me about the vest itself. I know it's called the Dolomiti, from the Dolomites. I'm thinking like it's the Italian Dolomites.
Of course. Yes.
Is that, what do you think, the inspiration? Because they're a little bit rockier and darker.
And the colors, yes.
And the colors.
Yes.
By the way, nobody told me that. I got no show notes, but it's kind of obvious. I like that.
Yes, it's actually a beautiful piece. And it's also reversible, this gilet.
Oh, no kidding.
One of our most
out.
iconic pieces for the brand are our gilets. It fits harmoniously with the rest of the collection. It stays true to the English tradition, but as well, this year we've seamlessly harmonized it with a modern take, which is what the colors are taking from New York. And I just think it's just beautiful, especially in this sophisticated urban landscape that we're in today.
You couldn't have used a better landscape and environment. By the way, this is, I'm going to bring this in just a little bit closer. This is like the softest Rex Rabbit known to man.
And nothing keeps you warmer.
Nothing keeps you warm. I have several pieces at home and I swear by this. You know, you could have the most complicated chemical compound fabrics that come out here. Nothing is like this, and nothing feels as luxurious too.
Absolutely.
And by the way, I'm kind of in love. I'll have you, poor Sway, didn't realize she was going to become the ultimate hanger. But I'm also loving this. This is a size small. You've got a light cabling going on here, which again I think adds to the warmth, but also the design. Roll necks, folks. I mean, yes, we know James Bond and the Fumo Gray roll neck from Spectre, but this kind of goes beyond. And is this called marled? Is it that what
Yes,
this
it's
is?
a marl. It's a marl cashmere. So there's around 3 or 4 colors mixed in to create the marl effect on this heavier weight.
Unbelievable. And by the way, we keep saying heavyweight, heavyweight, heavyweight. This does not feel heavy. And the movie magic here in Rockefeller Center, it's like almost 80 degrees here, and we're not schwitzing. Translating overseas, that's sweating profusely because cashmere breathes. And even though this is a thicker cashmere, I am not dying in here.
Absolutely.
It really regulates your body temperature well.
Well, it's a fine fiber. It's the finest fiber cashmere. So, yeah.
Unbelievable. And this is a size small. So we always like to talk about,
Yes.
got a 42 going on, a 31. It's before lunch. Wait for the 32 coming shortly. But this is fantastic.
This is beautiful
I
piece.
think I have another look that I got to pop into.
You do.
So I'm looking straight down Fifth Avenue, watching the traffic come by, and right below here is the N.Peal Rockefeller Center store. And I just picked this up from there, and I'm one of the first people to wear this. Again, it is from the West Village, but this is a biscotti and taupe herringbone jacket, and talk about soft. They're soft, and then they're soft, and this is the latter. But I've got to remark on the shape, because I know a lot of you out there, you're saying to yourself, you know, sweaters and jackets and things like that, I lose all that hashtag Bond Fitness Challenge. This has a waist suppression to it. There's a lot going on. You've got the pockets, but you've got the suppression that makes it extremely flattering. You've got the banded bottoms, you've got the banded hems on the sleeves as well. And you're gonna notice that the arm pockets are very high. You don't get this bat wing going on. This is tailored cashmere at its best. And again, I'm gonna come up close. Look at that herringbone. Biscotti, I'm gonna avoid the coffee and not get it on there, because underneath I'm wearing chocolate. It's the color, people, not the flavor. This is Bond chocolate. It's very similar to the neckline that you see in Spectre when he wears the Solden jacket. You probably are very familiar with that look. But in this case, as I unbutton this, one of the things you're going to notice behind here is a little tipping of the Rex Rabbit collar. Very warm, very soft, and again, it breathes very well. You've got this wonderful zipper, and underneath, I've got the chocolate brown Bond turtleneck. And it's not quite a turtleneck.
Mock neck.
It's a mock neck. We have all these wonderful people. It's, by the way, it is a cast of thousands behind this camera. You would never know it's just 2 people. Super comfortable, but we'll keep continuing on. Well, there you have it. A full look at some of the different brands in New York City. I couldn't think of a better way to end this than on top of Rockefeller Center at this garden loft. Absolutely beautiful, just like the brands and the heritage of all the brands that we encountered, and the people. We can't forget the people. Now, as I leave you, know this, we will be back. The Bond experience will return to New York because, well, I'm a New Yorker. I don't know if a lot of you knew that. Yes, it's upstate New York. It's not as cosmopolitan as this wonderful edifice that we see around us, but still there's some pull, there's some connection that we have. It's not just Bond, and it's not just the city. There's something ethereal and emotional about it. Until then, though, this has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience, and we'll see you all real soon. Take care. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to be up on the latest from the Bond Experience, just click on this subscribe and subscribe to our channel. You're going to get all the latest and greatest information, plus some exclusive content. And by the way, speaking of content, here's something especially for you, just because we know you. Talk to you soon.